Hi there guys, thanks ever so much for joining me again. Again, it's another special occasion, another unboxing for you, but this time it's the Nintendo Classic Mini. Now this is a miniaturized version of the original console, you can see it. I mean, compared to my hand, this is the size of the box. But this came out over 30 years ago, and for me it's really special, holds a special place in my heart, simply because it's my first console, it's the first one I ever owned. And as you know, many of you play classic NES games and obviously a lot of the modern games, but this is kind of where it all started. These are where, you know, Nintendo, Japanese company, came and flourished out the ashes of the video game crash of the 80s, and they produced classic games like The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, Castlevania, all these kind of games, ones that were licensed as well. But this is a really classic console, and I love the games on here. Some of the games on here stand the test of time simply because, yeah, it's only 8 megabytes. They're not the most graphically complex games, but the mechanics and the amount of love and design that went into some of these games, you really have to sort of tip your hat to Shigeru Miyamoto and a lot of the game designers and developers that worked on some of the games that made this console what it is. Now on here you've got 30 classic games. These are all preloaded. I'll just read out a list. So you get the original Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, Final Fantasy, first one, Legend of Zelda, and also you get the Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. You get Kirby's Adventure, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Metroid, Mega Man 2. You get Castlevania, Ninja Gaiden, Punch-Out. You also get Galaga, Balloon Fight, Ghosts and Goblins, Ice Climber, Exciter Bike, Mario Brothers, Kid Icarus, Dr. Mario, Donkey Kong Jr., Take a Breath. You can get Bubble Bobble, Gradius, Tecmo Bowl, Super Siege, Contra, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, Star Tropics, and Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. So these are really classic games. I actually own most of these games as the original game packs or cartridges, but they're all preloaded on here, so you've got the convenience of literally just plugging this in with a HDMI as well, because it's a HDMI output. Plug that in, you get one controller included. I forgot like an idiot to pre-order a second controller, but you know, I'll have to try and pick one up from somewhere. So I'm going to do an unboxing of this for you, but also I did pick up this. Now this made me laugh, this made me absolutely crazy, I had to get it. It's a giant game pack. No, it's not really. It's actually a hardback book, and the hardback cover is basically like a slipcase. So if you look on the top, it's the actual game pack. So it's done in the style of the original game packs that came out. It's really cool. What it basically is a complete walkthrough of 17 Nintendo classics. So it's also a journey through the 3 eras of Nintendo games, which is really interesting. Behind the scenes with Shigeru Miyamoto, you know him from Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, he designed them. An inside look at the system and game packs, and you also get level maps, character art, and you get other extras as well. So this is a really neat little collector's piece, and I picked it up fairly cheap. I mean, it's £15, so that's pretty reasonable. But if you're a big fan of Nintendo like I am, this is going to be something you want to keep hold of and have a little browse through. It's great for the coffee table. So let's go ahead and do a little unboxing of this then. So in here we get the instruction or operations manual, and we're going to get some Nintendo rewards. I think this is also the controller. Now this is great because it's got a really nice feel. It feels new. I don't know whether it's repurposed or they've just recreated the original controller, but it feels so good. And the connection there, it's a little bit similar to some of the peripheral ends on the Wii. Here's the original console that came out in the 80s, and this is the new HDMI version, the mini version. Absolutely tiny. Just funny to see. Obviously this doesn't open up. You would obviously put cartridges in the original. It's absolutely tiny. It fits in the palm of my hand, no problem. Also included is the HDMI connection and the DC to USB power cable as well. I still can't get over the size of it. It's absolutely tiny, and it outputs in HD. How cool is that? Preloaded with 30 games. Absolutely brilliant. Now let's move on to the Playing with Power NES guide. Now this is actually officially made, I think, and licensed by Nintendo, and it's quite comprehensive. So let's crack this open and have a little look, shall we? So we just compare it next to an actual cartridge. You can see It looks the business. It looks really cool. So it actually slips out there. So the actual cover has a half of an NES controller on each side. As an introduction, so it's really about the history of the NES and kind of why it became so popular. So it's got some really interesting things in here. Talks about Exciter Bike, you got a bit on Ice Climbers, tips and tricks, a different world on Super Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong. I can tell this is going to be something that it's going to sit on the coffee table. I'm going to be browsing at. So you got Legend of Zelda. Wow, all the information on it, all the characters, all the different items, all the different dungeons. Wow, this is just absolutely packed with information. Wow, and it talks about all the different eras as well. So you've got the late period. So it's going to go through all the different stages. Super Mario Brothers 3. All the different worlds. This is really impressive, and it looks like they've scanned all the original artwork and all the original manuals in here as well, and really compiled something that's quite unique. So this is a good companion to have with the console as well. If you're new to the original Nintendo library, something like this would be brilliant because it does feature many of the games that are actually pre-installed on the console. So things like Dr. Mario and Kirby's Adventure. It's going to have a lot of information about those games. Wow, and I'm pretty blown away by how comprehensive the book is. So it's got all the NES peripherals, the NES satellite as well. And this is brilliant. I've got to say, that is very impressive. That is going to be something worth spending the money on. That cost me about £15, but I think that is well worth the money. And as you can see, they've gone to so much effort recreating the look of the classic game packs. Very, very impressive. Definitely worth the money. Really happy with that.